Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. In today's video I'm going to show you how to quickly refresh the soil in this GreenStalk garden vertical tower, and we're going to plant 15 pepper plants into this single tower, 3 per tier, something along those lines. I've grown peppers in these every year for the last 7-8 years. They do extremely well in vertical towers, and the beauty is it's just a little 3-foot space, 15 pepper plants. So I'm going to quickly take apart the towers, just lay down all 5 tiers, and I'll show you the refresh. Before I get to that, let me show you the tower from the first 2 videos in this series. This is the main area where I have my vertical towers. It's early in the morning, it's only 63 degrees. For the last 4 days, it's been getting up into the upper 80s. Going to be like that for the next several days. This is just ag fabric sitting over the tower from the previous videos. And because there's cool weather crops in here, I really want to shade the plants. Something simple like this, it could be a sheet. It's going to keep the tower cooler. You don't want these pockets, the earth, getting up to 75 degrees for a prolonged period of time, like 7 days, 10 days. Sends the signal to these cool weather crops to bolt. But just look how beautifully they're doing. We have the peas down there, and you can look in the video description. I will link the videos that showed you how to plant this. Carnations, garlic, spinach, broccoli. I have collard greens in there, lettuces, kales, endives, parsley, Swiss chard. That is the broccoli, or this is the collard greens. That is sorrel right in there. Every pocket, all 30 pockets, are filled with a different cool weather crop. And just look how beautiful it is. These vertical towers are really, really effective. You can grow the cool weather crops, obviously spring into early summer, and you can plant these again late summer, August into the fall. The towers assemble, disassemble really easily. Each tier holds about 7 gallons worth of material. So that is plenty of growing medium to grow most plants in there. I've been doing this for almost a decade now. You don't have to throw away your container soil every time you use this. You just have to do a refresh. I have lots of videos on it. If you want more details, look up refreshing container soil, making your own container soil. That'll save you some money. The soil in here is on its 2nd year. Actually, it's been used twice, so it's been used for 2 years, going on the 3rd year. You could dump this out, but I'm going to show you the quick way just to freshen it up. Just FYI, whenever you're filling these, you want to use, if you're buying bag soil, a container mix or a potting mix. That's kind of expensive. I will link a video in the description that shows you how to make it and save yourself actually a lot of money. You want at least 50% peat moss in these soils, or you can replace it with cocoa coir. Combination of peat, compost, earth from your ground is perfect for growing in here. But the peat moss or cocoa coir really gives the container mix the ability to hold moisture, and that's the whole key. Early on, you know, the plants don't need a lot of water, but as they grow and get large, you may have to be watering these twice a day because of the size of the plants and the heat of the sun. All right, so let's just get down to the basics. I'm going to remove whatever plants I want to keep to going elsewhere, weed it out. We'll get to fertilizing and fluffing, basically, the container mix. The quick weeding is done. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 750,000 YouTube subscribers, so every person helps. I greatly appreciate it. First thing we're going to do, well, second thing after weeding, is we're just going to get in and we're going to loosen up all the container mix. That's the key. You want something that holds water, you want it to drain well, you want it to be loose for the root systems, and you're just going to get in, break up all the old roots that are in there from last year's growth, and you're going to fluff it up. Now you're going to probably have to remove some of the soil to add in the peat moss, the compost, whatever materials you'll have. We'll talk about that. But just really loosen it up. We're going to add in organic granular fertilizer. You can use any one of them as long as NP and K is represented. I highly recommend just buying what's on sale. It's pretty much the same stuff in those products. The key to successful container gardening is regular watering and regular feeding. So we're going to set this up for success, but then we're also going to use water-soluble fertilizer to water in the peppers, and I'll talk about how often you use that when we get to planting. So I'm going to just loosen up everything, and we'll get to the next step. Once you loosen everything up, you're going to find you have a lot more soil than you need. So I'm just throwing it into another container. This will be used somewhere else in the garden. Any organic granular fertilizer, they all basically have the same ingredient. You're going to put in 1 handful, doesn't matter the size of your hand, and then a second handful. This is a slow release fertilizer. We're going to mix it through. This will feed slowly over the season. We're going to use the water-soluble fertilizer to get nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, N, P, and K in there that the plants can use immediately, and we'll be using that monthly. Again, please subscribe. I'll show you how I grow the peppers in here from what we're doing today all the way to harvest. Once you have the organic granular in, you can add peat moss or cocoa coir. This is going to really hold water, and I'm going to use compost. You want to make sure your compost is fully broken down if you're buying bagged products. You could just use compost. If you have that, skip the peat moss, as long as you know that you have quality compost. And I'm going to just add in the compost, obviously. And then you're going to go ahead, mix it through nice and thoroughly. Oh, here's the shovel right here. And just make sure you incorporate the peat, the compost, the organic granular well through the soil. Any extra space that you have, you're just going to put in, what you took out. GreenStalk recommends, leaving about an inch or so right here. That's about right. You can overfill a little bit if you want to, but you want to just make sure you have good quality soil in here, filled almost to the top. Your plants are going to do beautifully in this. I've been growing in these vertical planters for, I don't even know, 8 years, 9 years, well on my way to the 10th season. The original tower was the one that I showed you with the cool weather crops. These are just wonderful investments. Any product that's going to get into its 10th year is a great investment. Why? They don't crack. If you buy cheaper versions, the sun usually degrades them, they crack, they warp. These have not broken down in any way. They're also always trying to improve the product, and I can tell you, this is a newer tower. This is actually in the rusted garden red color. It says fill soil to the top. I think years back there was a fill line that was a little bit lower, so taking it to the top, perfectly fine. Gives the plants more soil to hold moisture, more soil for the root systems. This is what it looks like after everything has been fluffed up. Now when I go to plant my plants, I'll be adding in more soil. Sometimes I put mulch in there, so I do leave a little bit of room for the additional soil, additional mulch. They just get restacked. They're all going to go right here. I measured these. I think I said earlier that in a 3 foot by 3 foot space, these are only about 21 inches wide. So in less than a 2 foot by 2 foot space, you can easily grow 15 peppers, 30 plants. They're highly effective, and growing vertically is really a great way to just get more production out of your garden. All right, I'm going to stack them up and we'll get to planting. All stacked, ready for planting. I have lots of videos on how you assemble these, but each tier has a little tab. This is the watering reservoir, and it just clicks into the tier below, and you just kind of rotate things all the way down. And it's nice and solid. Here's a good example you can see on the side. This is not going to go anywhere. I have it sitting on a paving brick, 2 feet by 2 feet. That keeps the base nice and level. I've had these again, 8 years, something like that. Half a dozen or so. I've only lost 2 over that time to the wind, and it was the upper half. If you let these dry out completely, you get a 40-mile-an-hour wind, there's a chance they're going to topple over. Otherwise, these are solid. They take 20-mile-an-hour winds just fine, even 30-mile-an-hour gusts. If you're concerned about the wind, just fill them that day, make everything heavy. They're not going to move. GreenStalk is having a sale. Check out the video description from May 2nd to May 13th. It's a huge discount if you're interested in these types of growing towers, growing planters, growing vertically. Again, saves you space, and you can really pack a whole lot into here. You can also use my discount and save additional money. Peppers are going to go in. Now, in the past, I've actually filled these entire planters. Let me just think, make sure I'm not over-exaggerating. Maybe I did 24 plants. I think I had one tier I was doing something else with. I had 24 peppers growing in here, and they grew really, really well. What I want to do this year is every other pocket. So I'll put a pepper plant here, pepper plant there, 3 per tier. Just gives those plants more space to set out roots rather than competing with 3 other plants. The production is phenomenal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be 15 pepper plants tucked into this space, and I'll be putting other plants in between. Here are the 15 peppers that I'm growing mostly sweet peppers. You can mix, FYI, hot peppers, sweet peppers together. Cross-pollination may occur. peppers are self-pollinating, but it still could happen. But you're not going to get a hot pepper this year. It's not going to show up in the fruit. The cross-pollination is going to show up in the seeds, and if you were to plant the seeds next year, you might get a surprise. So I'm doing red bell peppers. For some reason, I only got 2. So I'm actually going to add 2 of my own shishito peppers in there. 3 garden salsa. I had a Keystone Giant. One of the tops broke off, so I'm going to replace that with a shishito. Sweet banana, California Wonderful. I just want to be clear that you can mix in hot peppers, sweet peppers. You're not going to have any issues growing them in a single vertical planter like this. At the end of the video, I'll also show you several towers I have planted up with strawberries. They're doing amazingly well. So the setup, I'm just going to drop the peppers in here, show you what it looks like. I dropped the pepper plants in. It's a good idea to just drop everything in, get a sense of where it's going to be placed. These towers are close together, so there's not a lot of space in there for sun. So my peppers are rotating, staying on the outside. My southern sun's over there, western sun, so it's going to get plenty of sun. I was actually going to grow strawberries in here and just designed it a little bit differently. Just ignore that for this video. While you're at GreenStalk, you can also get spinners that go on the bottom. Maybe if you're on a deck, you're in a place that gets shade, you can actually just easily spin this, and you just rotate it a little bit every day. Every side of the tower is going to have plenty of sunlight. I like this setup. Again, 15 plants, and you know, planting's pretty straightforward. I mean, we're just going to dig a hole, drop the pepper in. You're going to dig a hole, I just throw the soil in the opposite pocket or the adjoining pocket, drop it in. We're going to fill the pepper to right about here. Loosen up if you want. Depending on how it is, you can loosen up the root ball a little bit, get the roots going in a different direction, and then you're just going to set your pepper in there. Grab your soil without hitting your camera, and we're going to fill it up. Once it's filled, just get it into place, lightly press it in. I like keeping a little bit of a lip there, because when the plants get larger and it's, you know, maximum sun for the summer, I will water in the beginning from the watering reservoir up there, but when we get into the full summer, I water in from the sides, and I just put the sprayer on here, soak it in. I like having a little bit of a lip so that I can get a lot of water in there. The biggest difficulty, well, the 2 biggest difficulties with growing in containers, period, not just vertical towers or vertical planters, in containers, is when the plants get bigger and you get to the middle of the summer, you just have to stay up on the watering and on the water-soluble feeding. So that's the basic way to plant. I mean, this is going to be beautiful. You can drop in a little bamboo post, secure the pepper to that. It will support it. Let me get the rest of them in, and then we'll get to watering with the water-soluble fertilizer. Remember, water-soluble fertilizer has nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, other nutrients that are immediately available for the plant. And that's what you want. The roots will pull that into the system. It'll start growing. The organic granular, the compost, will slowly feed over the season. Since the container mix was just refreshed, I like to water each plant in with the hose. Just get the moisture into there. Once I do that for all the plants, I'll be watering from the top. When the summer comes and it's the height of the summer, I go back to watering in, you know, something like that. So for today, give your plants a good drink of water. After you water them in, we're going to add in the water-soluble fertilizer. Let me show you what that looks like. I'm using AgroThrive. I'm affiliated with them. You can find information in the video description. Highly recommend that as an organic, granular, water-soluble fertilizer. A nice big drink like that. Your plants are going to get off to a great start. I'm only doing this once a month. Today is May 2nd. Check out GreenStalk Garden and check out the Mother's Day sale. You'll really be able to save a lot of money on these vertical towers. I'm not going to water again with the water-soluble for a good 4 weeks, so probably the beginning of June, one more time. As the plants get bigger, I may increase that to 2 times a month, but these plants are all set up to grow and do really well in these vertical planters. Okay, let's check out those strawberry plants. This is the main area where I grow vertically with the GreenStalk planters. You know, again, the cool weather crops look beautiful. I wanted to show you the strawberries. I'm also growing, mixed in here, tiny Tim tomatoes, the micro tomatoes. I have them in a couple of places, but look at the beautiful strawberries. Look at the size of these. You can get all kinds of different towers, 5 stacks, 4 stacks. You can get stacks made for growing strawberries. I like using the 7-gallon, the larger pockets for strawberries, because watering becomes an issue here when the heat of the summer comes. But look at, I mean, the strawberries are just amazing. So I'm going to set up This tower, as they send out runners, is going to be filled with strawberries. This one's already filled. I mix in dianthus and other flowers. Got the Tiny Tim tomatoes in there. But this is predominantly where I'm growing just amazing strawberries. I mean, look at all of them. If you're interested in growing vertically in planters, I highly recommend GreenStalk Garden. I've been with them again, I'm not sure, 8 or 9 years. They're effective and they work, and they're on sale right now, May 2nd through May 13th. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com, and please subscribe. I'll show you how to grow in these towers.